Alright, welcome back to the new edition of this particular YouTube channel at Your Pro Tips, and we are currently on day 17 of our 30 days challenge on how sport bettors make profit. So our day 16 actually came out so well, and this particular slips involved just any team to score 3 or more goals on a row and over 1.5 goals. So this happens to be the day 16. Day 15 came out so well. Day 14 also came out so well. Day 13 came out so well. Day 12 came out so well, and we are moving on to day 17. Actually, we may not have enough games to look into in this particular round, which happens to be day 17. And as you guys, if you are just joining us for the first time, kindly make sure that you follow the instruction in this particular video with care. And currently, you know that our odds for this particular challenge is not fixed, and we have three phases regarding to the bankroll method on how sport bettors make profits. I'm talking about disciplined sport bettor, not just random sport bettors. You know, when you're applying when you are trying to apply a particular bankroll method and seeing how far you can go in 30 days. So this particular two sleeves, actually this 6,000 naira one supposed to be more than this, because the bookies were holding this particular 12k winning earlier before we went for day 16, that as well. So currently we are going to proceed to today's predictions, and we have just two games to end up as any team to score 3 or more goals on a row, and just one game as over 1.5 goals. And now I will give you a recap on our bankroll method for this particular challenge. We said phase 1 we are going to be using 30%, and we used 30% of our total balance for phase 1 throughout, which happens to be within day 1 to day 10. That is using 30% of our total balance for our staking amount. And from day 11 to day 20 we will be using 50% of our total balance. And this particular phase that we are happens to be one of the most painful phase, because when you are using 50% of your total balance, we must not lose any game at all. We must not lose any game at all. All right, so proceeding to the first game that we have on the list today. This happens to be under the Argentina professional league, and we have this particular game that you guys can see on the screen, which happens to be Riestra against Vélez Sarsfield. So this particular match is actually expected to end up as any team to score 3 or more goals on a row, which is no, at odd of 1.08 odd. All right, now, so this particular phase, to be sincere, we must not lose. That is why we need to apply strict strategy to it. This particular game that you guys are seeing is also expected to end up as any team to score 3 or more goals on a row. That is Rosario against River Plate, but unfortunately we can't use it because probably by the time I will be posting this game, you guys may not be able to access it. Alright, so the next game that we have here is under the Sweden League, and as you guys can see, this particular game is actually expected to end up as over 1.5 goals. So we have it at odd of 1.19 odd, and this happens to be the second game on the list, and we have just one game left, and this happens to be under the Uruguay Premier League. Alright, so we have just one game, one fixture under this particular league, and Sporting against Montevideo. So this particular game is expected to end up as any team to score 3 or more goals on a row, which is no. And let's check the odd by that the bookmakers are allocating to it. Alright, so the odd for this particular game happens to be 1.13 odd. And with just 3 games for this particular round, we have 1.45 odd. And don't forget guys, I told you guys earlier that most of the sleeves that we are using for this particular challenge comes from our private circle group, and this happens to be the report for the private circle groups. And probably in case if you want to join any of our group, probably our general Telegram group, you can actually access the group link in the video description and also in the comment section. And if you want to access our daily booking codes of our 30 days challenge and just booking codes, and accurate, when we are talking about booking code, I'm talking about accurate. And if small odd like 2 odd, 3 odd, if they are not too small for you, then probably you can join us. So whatever you are getting in this particular 30 days challenge is what you should be expecting in our private circle group, because we don't have a fixed odd. We just go for games that meet up with the analysis, and if it is 1.4, if it is 1.5, we go on with it. And for this particular day 17 of our 30 days challenge, we have just 1.45 odd. And one unique thing about this particular challenge is the bankroll method. As I said earlier, that we have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Our phase 3 involves using a flat staking strategy. Flat staking strategy means that we are going to use a particular certain amount throughout the days. So this is phase 2, and we are using 50% of our total balance, and 50% of my current total balance, let's say. So this is 11,498 naira. So this particular figures, as you guys are saying, happens to be the total staking amount of day 17. For me, I don't know what your current total balance is, but for me, this happens to be my own staking amount for this particular day. So this is where you are going to note that as we are using percentage bankroll method for phase 2, of which day 17 fall under it, you can see that we must know this happens to be the phase that it's very easy for us to make profits, and if we lose, we are losing. But one beautiful thing about the bankroll method is that as I said earlier, that it will be very hard for you to lose all your capital, because initial capital for this particular challenge happens to be 5,300 naira, and using percentage of your total balance, it will really make your capital to be safe, especially your initial capital, so no loss. All right, now, so proceeding, I would like to give a final advice, because regarding to how people used to complain about how to track their profit, or they've been winning but they don't even know if they are making profit or not, please kindly make sure that you adopt a particular bankroll method, at least the method of staking, and be strict and be disciplined with it. Kindly make sure that you stake just one sleep in a day, at most 2 sleeps in a day. One must be a serious sleeps, and maybe probably if you happens to be someone that used to test strategies like me, because I test strategies a lot, you please just try to control yourself and adopt one of these particular 2 bankroll methods, either flat or 30% bankroll management method. The flat one, maybe probably you decide on using certain amount of your total balance, and the percentage one, you can use 30%, you can use 10%, you can use 20%, depends on how you prefer it. Alright, so see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like our video, subscribe if you find this particular video interesting. See you guys in day 18. Let's pray for winning. Bye bye.